Anybody on there, Melissa?
No.
I wondered if Chris would be watching from inside.
You're the one that told me.
Not
He's
too.
off.
I know he's off. He's off. Well, I just wondered
He's
if
just
he.
following directions.
I just wondered if he. This Melissa thinks his Melissa won't let him.
She won't.
Yeah. Okay, I have 7 o'clock. It's time for the March 12th City Council meeting. Melissa, could I get call to order and roll call, please?
Ellick,
Here.
Vasinius,
Here.
Carmenter,
Here.
Raker,
Here.
Sellers,
Here.
Starkmore.
Here. Now, if you'd all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I would take a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Zach, second by Wes. All in favor?
Aye.
Take a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
Same, Zach and Wes.
I got a question, Ted.
Yeah.
I see that we reimbursed Officer Birkin.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that we bought this. It was for the Traverse. What was this in regards to? It says mileage reimbursement. So
Probably doing the school.
it says for a DRE. Isn't that a call out?
Drug recognition expert. So
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a call out.
Yeah. Is he not utilizing the Traverse, or
It was getting outfitted,
it was getting outfitted?
so he used his personal vehicle.
Is it done being outfitted now?
He just got it back, a day ago.
Melissa, I think this is for you. Van Duzen,
Yes.
he charged to come look at that.
Yes.
That's
And-
bullshit.
Well, he did some work reconnecting vents. There was a vent disconnected in the attic. He went to Tyson's and got parts for.
Okay, I
And
just wanted to make
He
sure.
was here. He was here twice.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't charging just to look at it.
No, he spent some serious time here over 2 days.
Okay, I'd call him and shoot his ass if he did.
No,
Whew, well, luckily for Mr. Van Duzen, that's not gonna be necessary.
Yep, I know where he lives too.
he was wonderful.
Okay, good, thank you,
I'm not certain we're totally fixed, but we've not had issues since.
good.
Anyone with other questions for city staff on the invoices? All right, all in favor to approve?
Aye.
Thank you. Now is the time to receive and file communications, petitions, and remonstrances. I had none on my desk. Melissa, anything to add on those?
Nope.
No? Awesome, okay. Committee reports, I don't believe we've had any since our last meeting. Okay. And then now we're down to citizens input. Council will not take any action on public comments at this meeting, but may do so at a future meeting. Please limit your presentation to 3 minutes. Bruce?
Yes, I would. Bruce Gardner, Pearson, Iowa. After our last meeting, of course, I'm assuming that everybody received my proposal and hopefully had some response to it, at least some inquiry or input as to what I've offered, suggested, provided. The reason I came tonight was because this last week I was in contact with large fiduciary possibility. And they're requesting a specific amount of input initially, which I would request from the city. Obviously, I'm not requesting that now, but a commitment probably would help. And today I was investigating some other opportunities and look towards economic development out of Blackhawk. So, but that's the reason I come to you tonight, is just to see if there's any inquiries, comments, concerns, or if you might consider a commitment as to the amount.
So when you say commitment, because it's a lot of information to get through.
That was pretty far over.
Like it's kind of unclear in all the information of what you're actually asking of the city.
You have TIF, correct? Because you're an opportunity zone, you collect the TIF. And according to what I've visited with Chris, the city administrator, there's a limited amount that's available per project, per situation. And that amount would be the amount that I would request on this considering the fact that it's not just the Main Street opportunity, but it's gonna be more of a regional or even larger position. I think it'll bring economic benefit. As an example, what they say in the news 2 nights ago, the data center and the situation in Cedar Rapids has increased housing concerns greatly, but the county is now ruling against it. So now they're asking Palo to annex so they can have control over it. Those kind of things are in turmoil, but they're gonna have an effect until that's settled. What I'm suggesting or proposing to you is I've shown you a step-by-step consideration of what I want to put the proposal together, provide an opportunity for the city. And we do have output as well as input. I did bring some, if any of you are concerned or interested in cover crops, I did receive some brochures out of Oregon, which I have, that I can bring in and to you, if that would be of any interest to you.
I think at this point, for council to really make any decisions, we have to have something asked of us, and it would have to be an item that is on the agenda.
All right, but that's my purpose in this evening, to see how we could continue the situation. Would you like a specific amount? As
I can get your email too. It's a lengthy.
Pardon?
I can get your email too. It's a pretty lengthy document, but I definitely have some questions. I just haven't had the best opportunity the last couple weeks to communicate. But I'll get your email, and I think I can ask some pointed questions that maybe I can include them in on it, and
That'd be fine.
So,
Be
but
glad
I
to have
don't.
this one.
And your contact information may be on the email receipt, but I don't think it was.
Well,
So,
you've got my phone number.
I do have your phone number, but I like to communicate via
And I say,
email and
I will,
text.
I'll text you my, text you my email.
So I can definitely do that, and then
But this is the time of year when things like this, agrarian things, planting, so on, concerns, initiate. As you can see outside, we don't have snowballs yet. And, people are planning. I was getting emails today as an example on companies with cover crops. And they're saying, time to start planning, time to start planning. So, this will be a step-by-step initiation. But I wanted to present the entire proposal, so it wraps it up so you can understand where we're headed on. So if you want something specific,
and I think there's a few specifics, and maybe everybody else doesn't have the same questions that I have.
Right.
But I'll have a decent amount of questions that I can ask, and maybe that will answer some of their questions too.
but if you want it on the agenda, of course, a specific proposal, you want to present it to you that way. Am I understanding that?
I mean, if we got to that point, yeah, it seems appropriate to me that you would come to city council with your ultimate plan and your ask as far as
Mhm.
what you're looking for abatements or the TIF district.
Well, I thought I'd wait until Chris was city administrator had returned.
I think if you are able to identify a specific ask, you can go ahead and get put on the agenda. Or if they have specific questions that they can identify to ask of you, we can call you and invite you to be on the agenda. That should probably be our next step. And then we can openly discuss
That'd be excellent.
and work on things.
Well, I
from there.
appreciate you being receptive. That's primary. Okay.
Bruce, have you met with the Small Business Development Center at all yet about your
SBDC,
proposal?
3 times. I'm still in contact with a fellow that was SBDC out of Ames, Ray Hansen. He's retired since then, but I'm still in contact with him concerning the situation. I went to Cedar Falls and talked to Amy, SBDC up there. Went through Brian Hare at Bank of Iowa. He was the one who requested that.
'Cause they tend to be a great economic development sounding board for proposals.
Well, I talked to Jason Crooner today at Farmer State, and his contact list is longer than Cal's. Calvin and I have known each other since mid-80s, I guess it is, and he suggested maybe I talk to Jason. Jason suggested today, again, that I present the proposal to Blackhawk Economic Development.
Mhm.
So I sent the proposal up to Steve so he can see where we're at on it. That'll give a little more insight maybe.
Yep.
You're
Yes,
looking-
because if we get you on the agenda for a future meeting, we're gonna definitely want to meet all of the supporters,
all went.
your supporters,
Oh,
supporters of
I
the
understand.
project, so.
Yeah, there's incremental concerns as you go along, obviously. Things are changing daily, as you can see. I mean, all you have to do is watch the 6 o'clock news,
Yeah.
and you can see that. Alters things greatly. I filled up today and noticed my gasoline cost was $1 higher than it was 10 days ago, $1 per gallon. Inputs like that are gonna have a serious concern, but the other side of it is, we're in a ripe situation for the plan that I've laid out, I feel, that's the reason I'm bringing it to you. The other side of it is that, with proper support, I don't see why it can't go forward, be an economic benefit, that's the whole point.
All right. Thank you.
Very good, so I
Thank you.
will,
I would assume we'll see you at a future meeting for sure, yes.
okay, so you will, Dakota, you'll contact me, if anybody else, you have my email on there,
Awesome,
and you'll contact me, is that what you're suggesting then, Mayor Pro Tem?
yes,
Very good.
yes.
And you were wanting that to wait until Chris is back?
Chris has been in the inception of this, and he's read the entire proposal much earlier on. And he went to a national meeting on it, we discussed the real estate, the property. He felt, as well as a lot of his supporters felt, it was the highest and best use, which is always a primary situation, whenever you talk about property absorbed. But, as far as highest and best use, the things that do intrigue or give opportunities, an example, last week I visited with the fiduciary out in New York and Miami. We're in an agrarian situation, it's an agrarian proposal, we have a federal highway, we have an active rail system that's not gonna go down, cause you got the world's largest privately owned corporation on it, plus you have the world's largest agricultural manufacturer on it. And today, as I was in town, I noticed a CN pickup sitting down here across from McDonald's, which means Canadian National, which means they're present. I know they have concern to keep this operating. Those kind of things, transportation out, in and out, are important. We have the input, we have the agrarian, we have 7 going on 8 surrounding outputs, besides international situation. There are primary things that, when I used to do a lot of economic development,
And-
the first thing you always ask is, where's the market? And that's the market. We have several opportunities that way, so. All right,
Okay.
Awesome.
thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. Oh, moving down to old business, I see nothing. Moving on to new business. Now is the time and place to open a public hearing on the proposed sale and transfer of city-owned real estate, also known as 110 East 4th Street. Anyone here wish to speak on that? Anyone on, Melissa?
Are you planning to merge the two parcels together?
No, honestly, never even thought had that come across. I don't know what the benefit, I don't know if that's an us thing or a city thing, cause I mean, even like in the office, we don't deal with parcels. So that's not even something that came to my mind, I don't.
Because the original, obviously ask was the fire escape or stair or whatever it is. So stairs up there, and so obviously I asked. I don't understand. I don't know necessarily. I know that it's a shared wall with that lot. If that are those stairs going to be on that new lot? I assume they would.
Yeah, I mean, as of this point.
And does that,
we
you know,
separated, but
As far as a building permit go, with it being stairs, I'm just giving you some heads up. I would assume that the two lots would have to be merged in order to do that. I don't know how airspace works as far as that goes. It's attached to the building, but it's technically overhanging on the existing parcel. And somebody had said something about potentially a garage being built there in the
I can
future.
come up and talk if there's nobody else that's.
Please do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, that's the first I've heard about the parcels, so I'd have to look more into it. I don't know specifics on what the, honestly, code is or anything like that, but, I don't know if I'd be for or against it. I don't have any opinion on merging or not merging. I don't think it honestly probably matters that much to us.
Yeah, I just don't want you to hit a roadblock. If your
That's fair.
intention is to, if your intention is to put the stairs, fire escape
Yep.
there, obviously, and that's the whole reason. Well, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why the motion's been entertained to
I
sell the
think
parcel.
that was the main thing, just ever since the fire happened. That's
Yep.
always been the big. And then once we built that, because we had that staircase
Yep.
off the back, and once we enclosed that, obviously the fire escape's just been sitting there. And so, before we even made any plans of our own, that was even just the main thing is how can we get this fire escape back up? Because his office is up there, and he even said if I had a fire tomorrow, might be screwed, because there's no way for. Besides him running to the complete opposite.
Yeah, because,
End of
so last year, were you all on the board when I was here last December?
I was
Okay.
here, but I wasn't.
Okay, cool.
I wasn't.
So yeah, so I came asking, and we tried to get an easement or something, and it got hemmed and hawed, and we had, okay, well, we're gonna have a separate meeting for it, and so months down the road, we finally get a disclaimer of the wall, which, okay, but like I mentioned last month or whatever that was, that doesn't really clear up the under the wall issue, the shared lot, and knowing exactly where that lot line is. So that's part of, okay, well, do we buy half the lot, do we offer 10 feet just to get that whatever, and it's like, well, why don't we just go the whole thing, and then that clears up this issue, we don't have to survey it, and we can just put the, whether parcel numbers aside, we can
Yep.
put that up. So moving on to future, because we a lot of talk about future things instead of what's going on now. We are selling our house, we're planning on moving up above the office, but we don't have any set plans besides that, and the fire escape. Yes, there's been talk about garages, but honestly, it didn't even come from us. It's from
It was
like,
everybody else saying, if you're going to
Yeah.
move up there, you might want a
and
garage.
we said, oh, we didn't even think about a garage. So there's been talks about putting it on the back. There's been talks about putting it on that back corner right in front of where Fisher's old parking, I guess, would
Yep.
be. So there's a cement slab right there that's a 25 by 10 wide. So if, again, I'm just throwing out randoms, if we were to do a building, and call it a garage, yes, but garage is just not a great image
Yep.
when you're thinking about downtown. So So
And I
if
think
we did
that's
that
where
there, just a second, we put it back from the street. That would be about 50 to 60 feet, if I had to guess, away from the street. And also, we would probably, if I had to guess, make it look like our back staircase, because that was added on, and we wanted it to look at burnt orange or whatever you call it to kind of match the bricks and the style. This is the oldest business continually running in Vinton besides the cemetery, and we are one of the oldest buildings. We are a third generation family. We are not looking to do anything, pull a fast one over. We're not looking to make it, and I've said this to multiple people, it's an eyesore right now. That lot is an eyesore. We are not looking to make it more of an eyesore, right? Andrew, you were in a month or two ago, and we looked for about 2 hours. I don't even remember what it was, an easement or something like that, right?
Yep.
Do you remember how much I charged you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
And part of that, just to say, that's goodwill.
Yeah.
And between Chuck and Francis before him and all the owners, we want to make sure we have goodwill. So
We have great
we're acting,
relationships with our realtors.
we're trying to act in good faith that currently the plan is a staircase. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point some sort of a building cover, carport, whatever goes up. And now I'm not making guarantees for the future, but I know we would try our hardest to make it look as good as possible and make it look similar to downtown, because it's bigger than us living there.
And just to be clear, just to put any rumors, because I know people talk, the only plan that we currently have right now is we want to sell our house and move up there. That's the only, for sure thing. The garage, don't know. Anything else, obviously, and the fire escape would have to go up. But other than that, there is nothing set in stone besides we'll move up there.
And even building on the lot, on the gravel, who knows what would have to be done to it, no matter who buys it, in order to build something, or parking lot, or green space, or whatever. So yeah, I think there's a lot of it's like Andrew made the comment when he came and saw me a couple weeks ago of, well, in 50 years I don't want the city council to be sitting there and asking, well, why did we let that one lot be for sale and now nothing's built on it? And I said, well, you know what, Andrew, if in 50 years that's what they're worried about, I think the city of Vinton's doing pretty well. So I get that we need to look down the future. It's downtown, but there are some other issues with downtown that I feel like this is probably lower on the list.
So speaking of future, Melissa did discover or figure out that with the way the ordinances are written, if they do build, the two lots do have to be merged.
Okay.
So
That's
just,
part of the concern I have is
just
that
tuck that.
I just want to make sure that
I don't want you to have any. Here's the deal. Like, I understand that we're moving forward with this, and that's what we're about to vote on. But I don't want you to have any. I don't want you to run into hurdles down the road. If this is what your goal is, I want to discuss it now.
Absolutely.
And I know that there's definitely some attachment, especially to that zone with the architecture around it. We have talked about what does a building down there need to be constructed of, right? And from what I understand, it has to be brick. I don't want this to be like, hey, we're doing this. We understand that it's right now for the, stairs, fire escape. I don't want you to, want to do that, and then you get told no.
Right.
Because
So
you
that's
have to merge the two lots together.
So I'd love to have, and I mean, it's now great if this is put off or whatever. I'd love to have something. What is the writing of what it needs to be? Because then we can plan and we know for sure, as opposed to, well, we think it needs to be this. Because even our back staircase, it's not brick. I don't know. Maybe it's just the front facing, because that was a part of that Main Street grant when. Michael and Dowd's built, and we got money for that as well. It was, you have to have the face, and it has to look old, and we were great. That's what we want. We want it to look like it's supposed to look. So I get what you're saying.
And it's just one of those things where, I know that historically, if there was and I'm not saying you're doing this, but we put up a metal building, downtown that looks out of place. Then the question is how did this happen? You know what I mean? Everybody else has to. Redo their stuff in brick. So I just don't want you to run into any hurdles, and that's why I want to have the conversation now. At the end of the day, if you're going to put a garage on there and you want to move downtown, that's fine. You're going to increase the value of the property. It's going to be nice. It's not going to be an eyesore, so it's not a concern about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the conversation now,
Absolutely.
you guys, I don't want you to run into a hurdle and be like, what in the heck did we do this
What
for?
could we have done to prevent
And then we
this?
have a lot that's sitting empty for 50 years because nothing can be done on it,
Sure.
or nobody wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think
obviously,
you're
you
gonna
guys have interest in it. You're the
Right.
you're the party, the only party that has showed interest in it. So that's not the concern.
Yeah.
but if you don't have those conversations
Right.
now,
and even
then
that
it's
other-
like, hey, then none of this was said, and then you guys run into a bunch of
yeah.
roadblocks and.
Sure.
Even that other 40 feet, like we talked about last month or whenever that was, is enough to build on. But then that's the question that keeps coming up: is what has to be done in order to build a
Yeah.
real building? So both of these lots could be empty for decades. I
Right.
hope that's not the case, but I think it's a very real possibility with the construction and how things are going. If you want, I mean, a building like the furniture store, like something similar to that, even from when they built 6 years ago, it's gonna cost way more, and they now have to dig out stuff. Or again, I'm not a construction guy, but there's gonna have to be stuff done to that lot, no matter what happens. So there's just lots of ifs, ands, what ifs that.
And like I said, when it comes to the
I-
law,
I
I didn't want
appreciate
you to. I didn't want you to,
that,
be
yeah.
understanding. Like if you come down to get a building permit for the stairs, they're not going to grant you one unless it's merged together, right? And as far as if you attach something to your building, it's going to have to be on the same part. And so I have personal experience dealing with that myself, so I understand like the struggles there, and so that's my questions for if that's going to be the use. Totally understand. It sounds like the main concern is we have a very nice block down there, and it's very similar constructed with materials. I believe that's a point of contention for few. So as long as if you're going to put a garage up, I would
Like what
assume
we're getting
that
into,
that it's going to need to be brick, and you might as well have the conversation now before you guys spend X amount of dollars to purchase the lot and you can't use it.
And maybe
so.
we do the back end as instead. If it is brick and we decide, okay, the back end has enough for a carport or whatever you want to call it, but I still think having that lot for the stairs and for the again, I keep going back to the under the staircase.
Yep.
The city still owns that, and like I said last time, we spent lots of money, and we actually also put in another load of fill because it was flooding into our basement. So we did that on the empty lot as well. So we put a lot of time and energy ourselves into this empty lot that we don't even own.
And I get
whatever
it.
it's
I think
worth,
if they
it's
merge
been
together, it cleans a
that
lot of
yeah
that.
that
I agree.
that fire
Your under
escape-
the wall thing is no longer an issue. You
yeah
choose to sell it.
exactly.
So if it's merged into one lot, it goes by that building code of what's downtown. That's very
Yeah.
easy to
And we
decipher.
want to make sure
so.
that we do everything by the book. Like, I think even those of you that know us know that we're not going to try to skate around anything or loopholes.
We can't
so.
do that in our job.
No, there has to be-
Yeah, no, not in a small town and not in our job. So,
But yeah, I mean, another point I've been trying to not necessarily put this out there, but that fire escape has been sitting now for 6 years. A couple of weeks ago, it's been sitting on 3 owners' property, and we have gotten no word about why is your staircase on our property sitting. So it's just like that lot's already. I don't want to say nobody cares about it because you guys obviously do, and we do as well. But for lack of a better term, nobody really cares that the staircase has been sitting there for 6 years.
it doesn't look great, to be honest.
It's
I
not
can't
pretty.
stand it.
I'm not speaking for everybody else, but I think the determination to sell a lot to you is because you have the best hope of improving it
Absolutely.
and doing what's best with it, so it's not an empty lot 50 years from today.
Absolutely.
And then they have to ask what happened.
As a citizen, I appreciate all these
Mhm.
forward thinkings.
Yeah.
But it may not sound like it to me from me, but I do. It is important. I've been on a handful of boards, and I know how important it is to think about all the ifs, ands, or buts. So
But again, as someone who's a third generation of this business, I take, and Dan too, even though he's not, he married into it, but, we take a lot of pride in this town, and, this is the business that has provided for me my entire life, and it's been in my family for over 100 years, and, we want to do what's best for the town and what's best for our business and the local people that we have the pleasure of working with all the time, and, so we'll do whatever's best for the general.
What we need to do is get you information on what is going to be required going forward.
And I asked those questions before. I want to, is a building permit going to be required for the fire escape? Yes. they have to be merged to put the fire escape in there. So I'm just telling you, you'll have to make the two parcels one
Okay,
if you.
yeah,
if
which
you
I
can
didn't
do
know
that.
until now, but I
Yeah,
don't
that
think there's.
never
I
even
don't,
heard that.
this out as we go.
I don't see why that would be an issue. I don't know enough about.
I think it has to do with, it's no different than if I built an overhang on my property and
Okay.
somebody else's property.
See, I was thinking it was the same property, then it
It's
doesn't
not,
matter.
it's not the same property.
It's-
Same owner.
Sorry, same. That's
Same
yes,
owner,
same
not same
yes.
property. So I think that falls
Okay.
in the same category. I can't have an overhang
Yeah.
into an alley or something like that.
But yeah,
Sure.
I mean that sounds like something that
So,
would be totally
Then you're
fine.
gonna end up with an engineer involved in setting up that staircase.
No, well, we've got our guy that put it up first is going to come back, and we can't actually. He's not even going to come look at it until we have
We have
Yeah.
something.
because he doesn't want to come
Some
out
plan.
and plan it, and now say like, oh well, they didn't give it to us, and now his time is done. Like,
Right.
he's
Right.
confident that he's going to be able to put back
But
up
what
that
I'm saying is
staircase.
You're gonna have
It's
to have pilings to hold that thing, cause that soft common brick is not gonna hold it.
Right. Yeah, and Chuck has even talked about that, and he knows a little bit more than I do on that. He's got a little more experience, and but yeah, and so will be stuff that has to be done and to make sure it's secure. But the footprint is the same footprint as it was off in the back, so it's not like the staircase is going to have to be shouldn't have to be welded, engineered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how we get it onto the building with enough foundation.
We've been a little slow. I mean, like I said, we keep learning little new nuggets. It's like when you merge two properties, there's certain rules. If they're separate, if they're attached,
Yes.
and we don't deal with this all the time. So we're learning as we go. And
Sure.
like Dakota is saying, we don't want this to turn sideways. Where
Yeah,
you,
I don't want it
we
to
lead
be-
you to believe
Absolutely.
that
I don't
you
want
can
it to
do
be an
this.
empty lot for the next 50 years.
Right.
So I want you guys to improve it, and I want you to put your fire escape up. And I honestly, I want you to build your garage. The concerns are
Sure,
that if
absolutely.
the garage gets put up, that it matches
We want to,
surrounding.
yeah,
which
and
we
we want to
did.
do that too. So
Yeah.
we'll work
So
with
or
you guys
just
as whatever
no,
we need
no,
to.
no surprises, so you don't come back in
Appreciate
5
that.
years and say you never told us that.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
got to
So-
cover your butts too.
Correct.
I
It's just
think
very
whether or not-
clear.
Whether or not we build a garage, again, that's an extra benefit.
Yeah.
The staircase and the clearing the title to the
100%.
Those
to
are the non-negotiables.
boundary.
Correct.
That's what's important. Staircase and clearing the boundaries, because once we start working, we have a tuck point, right? We might have to fill more, and if we do that, then yes, there's a disclaimer on the wall, but the city might be receiving some bills or
And
quotes or
That
whatever.
goes back to merging the parcels together.
Sure.
That clears up all of that.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah,
all of that.
Yeah, then it's
So
all one. Yeah, it's all
It's all one. It's all your
And it's just-
your property
I think it's
attached
all
to that
lot
building.
or
So,
14 or whatever that is.
so that would alleviate a lot of those
Absolutely.
title issues in the future. So.
That we deal with all the time.
Yes.
So, no, we're happy to work with you guys and make sure we're doing everything on the up and up. And we appreciate, like I said, this is the first I've even heard of. I don't even know what merging parcels is, to be honest. So,
You just gotta call a surveyor. You gotta go to a planning and zoning meeting. And
We don't do it in town very often.
yeah.
Yeah, but
not that
yeah.
bad.
So again, there's just lots of dominoes that are kind of waiting for this to happen.
And we've just kind of been in a
But-
standstill. I was literally talking to Tammy about that. She brought an abstract, and I was like, we're just in a standstill. There's like, we haven't sold our house. Nothing's happened with this, so we're just kind of waiting. So, we're just,
yeah, and just tell you, and I don't want to like. I know from previous experience when you merge them together,
Yep.
there's going to be additional steps to get to that point before that fire escape
Absolutely.
can go up. So
yeah,
I'm
but
just,
at least they can
just
start happening.
so then you own it, and it's
Right.
like
And
it
there's
can
no
actually
surprises.
happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So
we would love that. So,
Yeah,
Push
we'd love
the
to get
wheels
another
1,000.
building on a tax payroll, like Bud said last time.
100%. I love that.
Tax
idea.
roll, not payroll. Yes.
you guys have any other questions for us?
Well, I was just gonna ask them that same question. Anybody else have anything for the public hearing?
So, am I understanding correctly? I kind of get the feel that we want to clear everything up before we make the sale of this final.
No, I wanted to let them know, like the whole original purpose of this was to install the fire escape, and from what I've gathered and the questions that I've asked and what I've read, to install that fire escape, they have to own this parcel,
Yeah, no,
right? Or get an easement from us. But to
Yeah.
install it, they have to merge the two.
On our side,
lots
that's
together.
that's a speed bump, not a roadblock.
Correct.
So for
Correct.
us, that's just a speed bump. We just
Yes.
And so I
take
wanted
it as
to
we can.
clarify that prior to it. They can certainly do that if they do not merge the two parcels together. The fire
So-
escape can't go up.
So, from where I'm sitting, what I'm hearing, we know the process for the first intention, which is the staircase. then future, if, yes, we will have all of the information that they would require if they choose to build.
And that technically doesn't even go through us. That goes through the inspector. So
Oh, right.
He's here tonight. So.
Oh, yeah.
But, as I say, before you start putting the staircase up, you need to see engineering plans
Right.
on how you're going to hold that thing.
Who needs to see it? Why do you guys?
The-
I'm just
We
curious
don't.
about- Okay.
He's referring to building and code.
Oh,
Gotcha. Okay.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
why I was like,
No,
Makes
Oh,
sense.
Well,
Yeah,
kinda
makes
like we're
sense.
one big city.
So really, to simplify it, from what I'm hearing, the two lots are gonna have to be merged
Yes.
for the staircase. Going forward after that with any build process, you'll need to.
We would just have to make sure it's
And I can,
Yes.
you can contact me. I've done that. I can
Research.
oh great.
I can tell you
Discovery,
exactly how to do
perfect.
it. So
Yes, any information
Yes.
would be at your disposal.
Appreciate that. Thank you. That's good to know.
it's,
Might take you up on that.
yeah, it's,
Because we don't want to do anything wrong.
for the zoning codes, or just
building and I don't. What is it? Building and code enforcement? Is that what the department is? Called?
code enforcement officer.
Yeah.
He's ready. He's got.
Perfect.
Are you giving us the money too?
With that.
I thought maybe he was getting that out to give to us.
So,
But to be clear, that process cannot begin until they own both
Correct.
lots.
100%.
Correct.
So it would have the
That's-
sale would have to go through
It has
first,
to go
and
through.
then it would have to.
So-
Okay.
I just don't want you to spend X
Good to
amount
know,
of
too.
dollars
this
and
is,
not-
Yes.
this is our public hearing. We're gonna close the public hearing in a minute. Then the next step, should the council take, we're gonna vote to sell the lot to you. At that time, you don't have to, I mean, obviously, you don't have to take the lot if you don't want to take the lot.
Right.
But,
Okay.
that's our next step.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
Anything else for the public hearing? Okay, I am going to close the public hearing now and move on to item B under new business, with the resolution for approving the sale of city-owned real estate, also known as 110 East 4th Street.
I'll make that resolution.
Okay, motion to sell by Dakota. Do I have a vote? Or if I'm acting, can I not vote?
You vote.
Okay, and then I second. So we have a motion and a second on the table. Can I have a roll call, please?
Hesenius,
No.
Elwick,
Yes.
Harmader,
No.
Raker,
No.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahood.
Yes. Do we have a draw?
I would say it
I-
fails.
Beg your pardon?
I would say the motion
Right,
fails with a
right.
tie.
I don't understand that, guys, but whatever. You voted.
I feel like everything needs to be laid out before.
But
That's
it
their
can't, but it
job.
can't be. You
That
just
is
said
their
it can't
job. That is the buyer's job. They have been informed of everything that needs to happen. They have agreed that that's what they would do.
We have
That was
nobody
their
here
job.
speaking against it, just a side note. I was expecting people to come, that's what I was told, and nobody besides us has a public comment on it. So, it's really disappointing. So what's the next step now?
We'll put it on the next agenda.
Have a good evening.
Moving on to item C, now is the time for discussion and direction for Fairgraham on the engineering services for Mud Creek Bridge Replacement Project.
So current contract, just for design services. Had a little brief discussion with Melissa and Chris. Just want to get in front of you guys, ask a couple questions before we just kind of put a proposal in front of you for construction services for administration and whatnot, similar to the West First Street projects. It's similar to that, where just going through all the DOT steps, dock express, all the observation and quantity tracking, and documenting that has to happen for that. One of the questions I guess I would have too for the council is construction staking. Put together a proposal. Do you want construction staking and surveying as a bid item, or would you like that a part of the proposal? One thing, if it's a bid item with the contract, goes out to bid just like a regular bid item would. We will not bid on that. We had an issue with the project recently that we bid on it, we got it, and then the DOT said it was a conflict of interest, but we can have a contract directly with the city. They just don't want us to do the work under the contractor as a subcontractor for the staking, if that makes sense. But we can have it as a direct agreement with the city. Just construction staking can't be a bid item if we are doing the staking.
I always thought you guys did the staking since you engineered it.
Yep.
You did the staking, so the contractor knew where to be, so if there's a screw up, it's your fault.
Yep, that's correct. Normally for the city, a lot of times we'll just do it. Sometimes, we put it in there if we do it for a client to try to put it in as a bid item, so you get basically the best price. Say we did that historically on a previous DOT project, and we got the bid, and then there was a whole discussion after the fact with the DOT. So we ended up basically eliminating a bid item with the change order, and then just got a contract directly with the city. So typically it does. Some cities want to do things differently. So that's why I just wanted to put the question. But to your point, Ron, yes, that is what we've typically done. Like I said,
especially here.
Yeah.
I guess my thing with that would be obviously, if that quote's competitive, then that's, if it appears that those services are going to be rendered at a higher rate at that point, it would make sense to put it out for bid. So obviously if you can have the person that engineers it also do that as well, it makes sense, but it has to make financial sense too. So I'm assuming that the proposal would be fair market.
Sure.
Yes, that would be my one thing.
Yeah, and we obviously haven't put anything together as far as a proposal and looking at hours and whatnot for this yet, but historically different projects, a lot of times what we'll do is maybe have a phase that is lump sum for all the kind of administrative stuff that we know is going to happen, and then maybe we'll do a phase that's time and material with an estimate, which would likely fall under the construction survey. Just depending on the contractor, depending on who the contractor may be, if we have to end up making more trips than what we estimate or less. So we would likely the construction staking and some of the observation time would fall under that time and material contract with an estimate. So then if the project goes smooth and it goes really quick, we don't have to be down here as much as far as staking goes, then you guys are paying less. But all the, the administrative stuff that we know is going to happen, just all the regular documentation, change orders, pay estimates, that could be lump sum. Like I say, I don't know, maybe we'll do just one phase and have it all be T&M. I don't know if you guys have a preference on that either. I think West First Street, I think that was a time and material with an estimate. I don't remember offhand exactly. Yeah, I think that was time and material with an estimate on it.
Yeah, I just want it to be obviously we have a guy that does that sits here and he'll know. That would be my only comment. Obviously, if you guys are designing it, we would like you to manage it, but it's got to be. We don't want to pay a premium. For that service.
Of course. Yep. So.
I'd be comfortable with time, material, and estimate myself, but
I always thought it used to be figured in on all the other city projects we've done.
It's called an upcharge, Ron.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I understand where we're going here, but I always thought it was figured in. You guys stake it because you guys are the ones who drew it.
I don't know. I think West First Street was a whole separate agreement, I believe, for the construction engineering phase, I think. And I think the design was separate. We've done it both ways. We've done it where we set up a design project and designing, construction, engineering, and staking is all one agreement. And we've also done it where we'll do design and then come back and then have the construction services as a separate agreement. My only thought maybe is depending on when this project all got started, not knowing exactly when it may start. If it's going to be a couple years down the road, just to estimate those fees and see how things go and proceed. I can't give you an exact answer why it wasn't all set up right away. I don't have the answer for that for you, but like I said, I just want to at least kind of talk to you guys. I know obviously, personally, working with me, I know you guys haven't historically, obviously, so I just wanted to kind of make sure we discuss things first before, we put together a proposal and you guys sit here and look at it. And I mean, obviously, yes, we're going to set it up similar. The scope should be something similar to what you've done. We've got the past agreements and proposals that we've done with the city. And Austin Grawl will more than likely, he's the one that was down here with the last project on site. Will likely be the same person. It'll be him more than likely. And then I kind of helped him wrap up that West First Street too. And I had helped him along somewhat too during the project as well.
So basically, you just need a little direction on whether or not we want you to include the staking.
Yep. So we'll include staking in it, and then we'll just do basically a T&M with an estimate, and then we'll put that together.
Line item, correct?
Pardon?
On that line item specifically.
We'll probably just do the whole contract. Is that what I'm understanding? Basically, the whole construction, observation, administration, T&M with an estimate. Is that what?
No, that's about the line item, I think.
Just for the stake, just for the survey.
Well, I'm assuming in construction services.
Are we talking about construction services and
Yes.
staking as two separate things?
No.
I thought we were talking about one.
It'll be
One-
one. It'll be
one
one
item.
agreement, but
Okay.
it just
You don't want
depends
to have
on.
them stake it and then not do construction. I mean,
Right.
You can't
Right.
do that. But you wouldn't want them to stake it and then have somebody else do the construction services.
Right.
Vice versa. Whoever's doing the construction services will do the staking.
So we would set it up as one agreement. I just didn't know if you wanted it
So-
broken out with multiple different.
No, I just
phases.
as far as that.
Basically,
Because
the
what
whole-
you're telling me is that when you originally put this together, this had no construction services or staking in it.
Correct.
It was just strictly a design proposal or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Get you
And so it's
basically.
getting to that stage now. We're
To
going
the
to put
letting.
it out to bid, and yeah. So I would say that's my thought. I'm not speaking for everybody else, but yeah, time and material. I'm assuming it's one guy here for X amount of days or whatever it ends up being. So, with an estimate, obviously, if the project overruns or something like that, but
So yeah,
those
we'll
services will coincide.
we'll just probably do. If it's okay with you, we can just do construction, the observation, administration, and survey all as just one agreement. Time and material with an estimate.
Yes.
And like I said, we'll get that together. Obviously, if you have more questions, we'll be down here to present that. So if you have questions at that time too, or if you want anything revised.
And we'll have that before we make a final decision. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. You have a proposal that you can act on.
And if we decide at that point that we're not satisfied with that, we can cut that portion, and you guys can put it in the bid, tag it as a different.
Yep. We could do it that way.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just asking now. So
Yep. And then just a quick update because I know we kind of sent an updates. But so got the floodplain permit. The letting date is pushed to August 18th currently. So still don't have environmental and archaeological clearances from the DOT yet. Hopefully those are coming soon because I know the phase 1 was submitted. I believe that was early February. So that everything's been submitted as far as that goes. And then so the next step is to submit check plans, which is in essence supposed to be our final plans to the DOT. They make comment on them. We update their comments and address on either comments, and then it goes out to final bid. So once we get to that point and get to final, we'll definitely share the plans with the city. We can do another page turn if staff or say council would like. We met with city staff back in May, kind of went through things and kind of got some of our questions and stuff answered. But so when we get to that point, we'll say we've made the revision with removing the sidewalk, so that'll be obviously one change. But and then we have started putting together some of the easement documentation. Just kind of started on that work. None of that negotiation can happen until all the environmental clearances have been obtained. The only thing the city could do is they could reach out to the property owners and just say, hey, we're going to be eventually requesting an easement for this project, but no negotiations can happen until all the environmental and stuff is cleared. That's just part of the federal process. It's funding, in the sense there's funding behind the project. So,
does it typically go over better when you do that? Like if you forewarn the
property owners that you're just gonna seek an easement?
If you could, I would recommend, if somebody knows it's the three, I can't remember offhand. I would previously shared an exhibit, I can resend kind of what it may, kind of the rough area. I can't remember
That can probably wait till Chris gets back.
because and then hopefully, and one caveat too is depending on, until the easements can get obtained, there can't be a bid letting. Until that's set, that's one of the.
Definitely we show the property owner anytime though. So.
But, and I don't know, if there's anybody with the city on staff or council that knows any of them closer. I mean, obviously it's me going up and knocking the door. It's going to be a lot better coming in from somebody from the city. Or maybe not.
Not always.
But like I say, yeah, we'll kind of keep you up to speed on that and where those things are, and once we get clearances and we have easement exhibits kind of put together, and then we can start talking dollars and cents, and we'll kind of get a rough compensation number put together to offer them, and if they accept it, then great. If not, like I say, we can talk about more of those logistics when the time comes, but hopefully, we'll kind of work with Chris on price and stuff, and if he's kind of thinks it's in the ballpark and fair.
Are these permanent easements or temporary construction?
Both. So it'll be permanent easement because the bridge is getting higher, the road's coming up. We got to grade out into and make basically different new ditches further out in the property. So north and south of 13th Street on the west side of the bridge, and then easement on the south side of the road east of the bridge where the private driveway is. The north side will be okay. I take that back. We're getting a small easement, I guess, on the north side as well. The city does have an existing sanitary sewer easement that runs out through there. It's either 20 or 25 foot on the north side of that gravel road. But this will be more or less a permanent right-of-way easement, just so it's separate. I mean, probably a gray area where we're putting fill there that we don't want them to take that away down the road. So it won't affect sanitary sewer. I mean, it'll be some spots maybe lower, some spots higher, depending, because like I say, we're moving the ditches out, but it shouldn't have a negative impact on the force main that's on the north side. Talked to Craig and stuff about that as well, so he's aware, and we'll have him locate the water main on the south side, force main on the north side in a couple areas, just because where we are cutting material, just to confirm depth, if that has to be lowered or not at that time, that it can be. I did a lot of rambling. Have any questions for me?
Do you have enough direction?
Yep.
Okay.
You bet.
Awesome.
So we'll get something put together and get something back to you at a future meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for making the trip down.
Yeah, no problem. Hope I don't get blown away going home. It sounds like it.
No kidding. Item D, take a motion for the approval of pay estimate number 25 for the wastewater treatment plant improvement.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach.
Right here.
What's
I
that?
just want to make sure, like, I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items that are now 100% complete being paid out. I just want to make sure that they actually are complete.
Well, we have a motion and a second. Unless anybody wants to rescind their motion, we table the payments until Craig is here.
Want me to call Craig?
Yeah, I just want, there's like 8 things that are 100% closed now, so I'd just like to make sure that they are done.
Call.
So.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig. We are at the point of the council meeting of the pay estimate for the sewer plant.
Yep.
There's a handful of items on here that are at 100% complete on the pay app. Precast structure, septic receiving, some
Septic receiving is not done yet.
for the well, is that someplace else on here as well? Because that line item, precast structure, septic receiving, is at 100% complete on the pay app. There's another one, some concrete reinforcing, concrete at the main lift station, concrete at the septic receiving station, access hatches. Do you know, are all those complete?
The reinforcing concrete, I guess I'm not sure what that would be, if that's filling in the holes. Because I don't know about the hatches either, so I don't know what they mean by that. But the septic receiving is not.
Is all the HVAC material?
I mean,
there?
they're still working on it.
Is all the HVAC
What they-
material there? Because that's like a very large sum of material.
How about all the HVAC material? Is that there? It's not at 100% on the pay app, but it's at 99.
Yeah, they are finishing the duct work in the main lift.
Okay.
So I believe the unit is running. Both units are running. They were looked like they were finishing. I don't know if they were finishing, but they were doing duct work yesterday, and I don't think anybody was there this afternoon when I was out there.
Okay.
Working on the duct work.
And then the other one was the valves. Are all
So
the
I
valves
think
installed?
it's up and running. They're just blowing in, doing what it needs to do. They just don't have all the duct work finished up.
Sorry, there's one more at 100%. The line item on the pay app is just valves.
Well, all the piping for the main lift pumps, all those valves are done. I don't know if there's any valves for the septic receiving that needs to go in yet. The electricians were working on that today when I pulled up out there, so yeah, there's still I assume there's still a lot to do for the septic receiving. So all the other valves should all be done, yes.
Okay.
What specific valves that's missing, I guess I don't know. It'd just be the septic receiving if there's any valves in that.
Okay. Anybody else have questions for Craig?
You guys wanna rescind motion and table,
Thank you, Craig.
You're welcome.
See ya.
or are you comfortable paying it? Technically, he should be here.
Yeah.
I would
We've
say-
asked many times when the department heads have items on our agenda, in particular this large, they should be here. We had
Aye.
to call him last time too.
I will remind him.
I would say that this should be tabled until
I would too.
he can go out there and actually put eyes on this stuff.
I
and
agree.
Tell us if it's done or not.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Because I don't feel super comfortable paying out this stuff. Now, my question is he provided this, like when we get it, when we get the pay estimates? Does he get this?
He for sure got him in the council packet.
He gets the council packet here? Okay.
I would have to go back. I don't remember if he's on the original email from the engineer or not.
Yeah, just, obviously, if something's closed out, I would just, my big thing is I just wanna know it's done, you know what I mean?
I'd
So
say
we
wait
don't-
till next meeting.
Yeah.
You wanna rescind?
I'm super comfortable doing
Yeah, I'll rescind.
Or do you want,
I rescind. Second.
okay, so, motion to table, Dakota,
that. Motion table.
second. So, did you get those, Melissa?
Yep. You good?
Okay, item E, I would take a motion for the approval of change order number 13 for the wastewater treatment plant improvement.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach.
I'd like to know why this wasn't figured into the project.
This is an increase, I believe. I was trying to find the line item, and I couldn't exactly find it.
Council had prior discussion about this, and I believe the not to exceed amount was like 15,000 on this line item.
That was a while back that we had that discussion. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
This is for the sewer treatment plant, not the water treatment
correct.
plant.
Correct.
Right, and we did a not to exceed.
That sounds right.
Oh, we see.
No?
Well, I know we didn't, but as I say, it should have been tested by the engineers during the project, or before the project on the bid levy. That's my contention. That should have all been figured in. You get a 40-year-old plant.
I thought she gave us a reason why it wasn't done when she was here.
For what it's worth, Bud and Emily did go back and forth on these a little bit, and he's seen them all, and Bud did not seem to have an issue with that one.
Okay, well, this one, we have another motion in a second. I'll take a roll call.
We gave direction to not exceed the number, and they didn't do that. As in,
That was, when was that?
Oh,
it feels like quite a while back.
October, November.
When was that? I think it was November.
As long as that's discussion, that was it.
Yep.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, I'd take a roll call, please, Melissa.
Ellick,
Yes.
Vasinius,
No.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahood.
Yes. Okay, item F, approval of change order number 14 for the wastewater treatment improvement plans.
Motion.
Thank you. Motion by Andrew,
Second.
second by Dakota. Any questions on that one?
This is for that control panel that they needed, or did we already vote on that one?
I believe we already voted on that one. This is something else. I believe. I might be mistaken.
This is an electrical item.
Well, I think the majority of it is removing the requirement to fill the abandoned forced main.
You guys, is this PCO 29, PCO 31? Do they mean something?
I'm sure they do, but I
And
don't.
these are both tied to the same exact thing? Or this is just one change order that took care of?
No, they're not tied to the same thing.
They're
No,
I don't believe so.
one change order that covers two
One,
items.
the two items.
Yes. I don't know if this is that temporary panel that we talked about before or not.
Did they bid the electrical as, I don't remember if this is the one that Bud pushed back on, but there was something that was, I don't remember.
This is not that temporary panel. I remember voting on that. Yes.
No, but they had originally, I know like 2 meetings ago, they had 3 items that, one was the panel, one was something else, and then one I thought had to do with like additional conduit and stuff, and I thought that Bud looked into it or got back with her, and maybe that's not this one, and so the bid packet said it was.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I might be thinking. But you said he went back and forth with her on this one too?
He did. Bud and Emily went back and forth a little bit on change order 14. Bud didn't love the dollar amount, wished it was a little lower than $246, but he also said he wasn't gonna.
That I can live with.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I get it's only 246, but it's really 4,200 because you're just getting a credit for the other 39. Because you're
And
not doing the work.
a small explanation of why we're removing the requirement to
I
fill
assume
the
that's why they're. I
Band-Aid.
assume that's why they're lumped together because then it's 246 versus a $4,200 axe and a $3,900 credit. So I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal. But I don't know how those things were worded if the electrical is not to exceed a certain dollar amount or something like that. But
Well, we have a motion and a second. You guys want to table it, or are you comfortable with the 246?
I'll go with the 246.
Okay, Melissa, can I get a roll call, please?
Vasinius?
Yep.
Elwick?
Yes.
Parmenter?
Yes.
Sellers?
Yes.
Stark Mahud?
Yes.
Raker?
Yes.
Thank you. Awesome, guys. We made it to 10. Time for reports. Chief, let's go first.
Got our traverse bat and doing update. So that'll be in the fleet.
what color is it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Is it undercover?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's black. It's,
Okay. Gotta keep my ear to the ground.
What's that?
So I gotta keep my ear to the ground.
There you go. Zach is in his group. I think he's got about 6 weeks after this week left in the academy, and he'll be back. We did lose one officer to the street department. His last day was today with us. He started the street department on the 16th. Wish him well, and we'll be hiring within our part-time pool. So that'll be fast and easy replacement. That's all I have.
And who'd you bring?
Brian Zoll, so you know me, most of you probably heard about me. Just very, very briefly, I grew up in Waterloo, I live out in Quasqueton now, so I'm kind of far enough away that I can keep my distance from the public per se. But at the same time, I've been getting to know them. I've done approximately 23 ordinance, and 4 or 5 of them were sending out the certified letters. The rest of them I've been kind of shifting towards trying to find out a home, meet with them, or leave them the warning ticket, and just kind of work with them at a more personal level if I can. Obviously, you can't do it with everybody, and then we'll have to send them letters. But so far, I've had pretty good response. Like 13 or 14 of them have already been resolved. Got a couple on the permit side. We got 2 new houses starting soon. We had a few people call me about roofs, or not roofs, but decks, garages. That should be getting started soon. Got the building down on 402. Obviously, that's going pretty decent. We've got the footer in today, and we'll be starting the rest of that foundation wall, I believe, probably Monday, depends on the weather and whatnot. And me personally, I've been studying to get my first of 4 licenses. Hoping to get that probably not this weekend, but next week I'm shooting to get that, and then get the remaining 3 within 8 months, 8 to 9 months of my start date. So approximately 1 license every 2 months. Yeah, I learned a lot. Everybody's been super good for me here, teaching me things, working with me, and that's all I got, I guess, unless you got questions.
Good. Welcome. Appreciate you coming tonight.
Any questions on projects that's going on?
Not yet.
Not yet. Give me a break.
Scott, you're up.
Did all of our summer staff interviews this last week for guards. Summer camp staff, we're doing park maintenance next year, but really haven't had any issues filling in spots. I think we had 3 guards less than last year, but we had a decent amount that didn't take any hours towards the end, so we're pretty well full staffed up at the pool. Instead of for swim lessons and stuff like that, private lessons, we offered $150 last year. We're gonna be able to offer $200 this year, so that'll go up. All of our pool information is going out in Friday folders this week, and next week's all out of be out there. And then I will be out of the office the 23rd through the 26th in Sioux City for the Iowa Fortnite Conference. So,
Good, that's all good. Summer's coming right up.
Yep.
Melissa, your turn.
It's been a busy week. It's been a chaotic week. I've done a couple interviews for the billing clerk position. I'm eager to bring somebody on board. We had a lot of great candidates, and there's still a few coming in. So I'm looking forward to that. Next meeting, March 26th, Bud would like to have a work session regarding the airport. Well, I feel like someone's gone. You are,
I am for sure gone that time.
okay. Everybody else be here? Well, we have a 6:30 special council meeting for the proposed tax levy. So we're talking about like a 5:45, 6 o'clock-ish start time. We may adjourn that work session for the 6:30 and the 7 o'clock meeting, and then resume after the council meeting if necessary.
I just need to know so I can get on.
How early can you be? Is 5:30 an option?
5:30 is good. I can make that happen.
Is 5:30 an
Just gotta
option?
write it down so I can
Okay.
get paid.
We have a
It's
couple
gonna have to
other
go on.
parties coming, so let me touch base with them, and I'll get you a time early next week for a for sure start time.
And a report on Chris.
Minor, very small report. I believe he's doing well. There's a card over here if anyone wants to sign it before you leave tonight. We'll pop it in the mail for him.
Anyone up here with good and welfare? Chloe Sanders just keeps getting awards after awards after awards, which is very cool. So, all right, nothing else for good and welfare. I take a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Ron and Zach. You wanna keep this?
Nope.
Awesome. All right.
All those in favor?
Oh, yeah, all those in favor?